oral thrush, trouble breathing. We had so many lacerations today. A thumb, a finger, a shin. Good morning, guys. Today I'm working in urgent care, which honestly kind of feels like my home base. I'm a float medical assistant. My name is Olivia, and I cover in over 150 different clinics. But today we're covering in urgent care. I'm actually training a brand new employee, so I feel like this is kind of a milestone where they trust me enough to train one of their full-time urgent care employees. So I'm gonna have to be on my A game today, for sure. These shifts are 12 hours long, no breaks, no lunch or anything. We just eat it at our desk. So the next time you see me, I will probably be done with my whole shift and I will get into everything about it. But today was a little bit rushed. I don't know if you could tell in my get ready portion of my video, but I am running late, so I'm gonna go and I guess I'll just see you after work. Alright, 12 hours later, I am back at home. Let's go inside and debrief my urgent care shift. Those shifts are always so long. They're 12 hours and you don't get a break for lunch or anything. The nice thing about that is that you technically only have to work 3 shifts to get your full-time hours. And I personally would rather go to work for a longer period of time rather than going more days. Like I mentioned earlier, I was training today and it was kind of more intense than I thought it would be because not only was I training a new employee, but I was also training an MA student. So I had 2 trainees today, but they were both awesome and they both honestly knew a lot already, so I wasn't having to show them everything. If you like variety, then urgent care is definitely something you might want to look into. I made a list of, just generally speaking, a lot of the things we saw. So let me read that off to you just to get kind of a feel of what you might see in urgent care. So we saw someone with kidney stones, a lot of like nasal congestion, a broken wrist, a broken arm, a sinus infection, a lot of UTIs. You will test a lot of urine as a medical assistant in urgent care. Someone came in for nausea and vomiting. Someone came in because they wanted to get an STD panel, oral thrush, trouble breathing. We had so many lacerations today. A thumb, a finger, a shin. It's beginning to be sick season, so we had a lot of strep tests and a few COVID and flu tests. Eyelid swelling. A lot of times we get pink eye coming in. Honestly, the possibilities are kind of endless for what you'll see, but it really keeps you on your toes. The nice thing about urgent care is that it's in between normal visits and emergency room. So you get things that are urgent but not emergent. And I like that because there's a lot less stress and pressure. If something becomes emergent, then you kind of pawn off the patient to the emergency department because they are able to do more thorough workups and just have more tools. So there's not quite as much stress that way. As a medical assistant, I really like urgent care, especially as a float, because in a lot of other clinics, I really don't feel like I know what I'm doing, but here I feel like I can work totally independently. Occasionally I'll have questions about what the specific urgent care office does for things, but in general, I know the flow of everything, so it's really nice. Just to name off a few things you're able to do, you can draw blood, and this might not be in every urgent care clinic, but at least in the ones that I work at, we're able to draw blood. We do a lot of strep tests, we run a lot of urine tests, we can test for mono, and we can draw up medications and administer them. There's really just a lot of different things you can do as a medical assistant, especially compared to a lot of other clinics. It's a lot more hands-on, and there's a lot less paperwork involved because you're just treating their urgent needs, and then if they need anything more, then they can follow up with primary care or a specialty clinic. One thing, and I don't know if this is a pro or a con, is that most urgent care clinics are walk-in based, so you just see patients as they come in. So the schedule is really unpredictable. I've had days where we are backed up and there's like 10 people plus in the waiting room, and it's multiple hour waits for patients, and we're just going the whole shift. And then I've also had times where we have a 2-hour stretch and we don't even see one patient, and I'm just kind of sitting there twiddling my thumbs. For me, I kind of like that. I like to be busy, but I also like to catch my breath every once in a while, so I like the schedule. But if you're someone who likes consistency and not being overly stressed or overly bored, then it might not be a great fit. But yeah, I'm sure I've missed something. If you've worked in urgent care before, let me know how you like it. For me, I feel like it's kind of my home. Like I said, I know how to do all of the things there that I'm supposed to do as an MA, so I feel like I can really contribute to the team. Before I was a float medical assistant, I worked in urgent care, and so that's where I got my first ever experience as an MA. So it just comes very naturally, and I really love it, and I am really happy every time I get scheduled there. But yeah, that's kind of how today went. On my urgent care days, I usually don't go to the gym because it's a 12-hour shift, so I would either have to wake up really early and then work 12 hours, or I usually need a little bit of time to wind down at night before I go to bed. I know a lot of people are super dedicated and they find a way to make the gym work, and maybe in the future I will if I ever work a job that's only 12s. But since I do have quite a bit of variety in my schedule, I just take my 12-hour days as a rest day. I actually don't work tomorrow, which is another nice thing about being a float. My schedule is kind of all over the place, but I get random days off. So I think I am actually going to hang out with my friends tonight, which is honestly much needed after a long work week. So I'll leave this here. Please let me know if you have any questions or thoughts about working in urgent care or about being a medical assistant. I hope this was helpful or that you could relate, and I will see you guys in the next clinic that I work at. Bye!